Hey, this is Jen.
And Jaclyn, and welcome to
The Spin Cycle.
As always, make sure you follow us on social at Spin Cycle Pod and subscribe to the Spin Cycle YouTube channel.
Let's get this started.
Let's go.
Hey, how's it going? What number podcast is this? Do you know?
I think it's episode 9.
Episode 9.
Double digits.
Moving right along. Hope everybody's doing well.
Happy St. Patty's Day week. We didn't have a chance this past weekend. I used shipping out to Boston again as my sprint today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. You know.
Can't get enough.
It's a whole week. Okay, so if you're watching us on YouTube, I have a Guinness can, and apparently you're supposed to pour this at a 45-degree angle.
So wait a minute. So before you pour it,
Okay.
So I don't know if any of you all have been to the Guinness factory. I have not, but you have maybe once, right?
Yes.
The brewery.
Yes.
Factory, like a candy factory. The brewery. Okay, so my brother-in-law went to Ireland and went to the Guinness brewery there. And there's one there and there's one in Baltimore, which is very unusual that there's not other ones.
Right.
That's pretty cool. So there is there's this ball inside that basically...
I think I can see it.
It holds, I believe, nitrogen.
Oh.
So when you open it, it releases it or something along those lines. So the way you pour it has to be just so, and you're supposed to let it sit. I mean, it's a whole process, apparently. So I don't know if anybody knows this whole process, but I think it's kind of cool. I never thought I'd like Guinness, but I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I like it. It's not, I always thought it was this heavy, dark beer, but it's definitely not heavy. I would say it's more equivalent to a light beer.
Yeah.
So, in the spirit of St. Patrick's Day,
should I hold the cup straight and then pour?
Yeah. So
at 45 degrees.
Yeah, I think you just hold. You have to do it kind of fast.
Pour into a glass. Pour into a glass tilted at 45 degrees. So the glass should be tilted at 45 degrees, like this, is what it's saying.
Right. Then there's this.
I think I did it right.
Well, you can't see on this cup, because it's...
I think I did it. I mean, it looks right to me.
I mean, it does... I don't think it matters, right? Cheers.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
That's good.
I was reading
Guinness.
it wrong in the beginning. I thought that the can had to be tilted at 45 degrees. And I was like, this might be a little messy.
So the way he did it was a little bit different. And it was like, he did it really fast and it was like a thing. And then it like the top of that beer, like it would like kind of like grow down. Like, I don't know. It was a thing. It was a process.
I've seen John do it before and I'm pretty sure I
was a little more
dramatic. Wrong.
Yeah.
It was very dramatic.
Yeah, it was more dramatic.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You know what?
This is our second time this week having a Guinness. We went out for St. Patty's Day after Utah and Baltimore. I taught in Annapolis.
The Killarney House in Davidsonville.
So much fun. And we also were so excited for the corned beef poppers, and they didn't even have them that night.
Yeah,
they had a limited menu.
Special menu. Big corned beef and cabbage.
Your corned beef poppers are the best part, but that's okay.
Yeah. We had a couple clients. They actually meted us. They met us.
They meted us. They meted us down at the Killarney House.
They met us at the Killarney House. Illiterate.
Gosh.
So it was a really fun night. We stayed out a little bit longer than I even expected. But
you were like, we got to get home. We got to watch the White Lotus.
Yeah, that's exactly what was.
We'll get to the White Lotus in a little bit. But
that didn't happen that night.
How was your weekend before St. Patty's Day? It was Mike's birthday.
Yeah, it was. Sunday was Mike's birthday. We had my ride on Sunday was really fun. We had a lot of new people. There was somebody else's birthday. It was somebody's milestone. So it was full of new people, a lot of guys. So that was cool. I love having sort of men in class. They, their eyes are real big. They're like, wow, this is definitely not what I expected. So it was really cool. It was a fun weekend. We celebrated my son's not feeling great. So I know everybody's been battling a lot of this like flu and stuff going around, but he went to the doctor and like nothing came back positive. So we don't know what he's fighting, but he wasn't feeling great. So we didn't do too big of a celebration. How was your weekend?
It was good.
Yeah.
I ran that half marathon in DC.
That's so cool. This is always amazing to me because you don't train, like you don't run and train for these races. But you get out there and you kill it every time. Like your training is riding.
Right.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you did amazing.
Yeah. I'm really proud of myself because I had to stop to pee. And I'm just at a point in
You said this before at a different race. You
Yep.
I've had to stop and pee.
Well, usually I don't. And I kind of feel a little defeated when I have to stop and pee, but I really am at the point where I just want to enjoy that I'm able to run physically.
Yeah. No.
And I don't want to be like hurting. I'm not the kind of girl that's like, oh my gosh.
through.
No, I was watching, oh my gosh, I don't know if it was a reel or something, but this one girl was like, please don't get my butt because I just shit myself.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh my gosh.
She's running a marathon.
That is not my jam. I will pop a squat in a bush before I have to deal with like running in like poopy pants.
Poopy pants. That would be terrible. But I know you were running for enjoyment because I did see that you stopped for a shot of fireball shot.
Hell yeah.
That is so great they did that.
Say no to a table full of fireball shots.
Hold up. Let me put...
I will say I had on this jacket and then I took the fireball shot and then I had to take the jacket off. Like it warmed me up instantly.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that makes it a really fun atmosphere to
the
run.
The crowd was so good and the signs were so good.
Yeah.
I really just had a great time.
And you're running this weekend again.
I am running. Yep. So apparently this is the third year for the Annapolis Running Festival.
Yeah.
I've ran in downtown Annapolis for a few half marathons, but it's never been this specific route with this festival that they have.
Oh, cool.
And I'm excited. And I was just looking at the handbook today and they're serving oysters starting at 8:30.
Where?
In the
Middleton's?
No, at the after race party at the Naval Stadium.
Oh.
Yeah. And it says until we run out. So we'll see. Hopefully they don't run out by the time I finish. And it's an early start. It starts at 7:00 in the morning.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. So.
Well, I was going to try to come down and like root you on. I was a runner like all my life. Like I ran in high school. I ran a little in college. And then after I always ran. And it was probably, 10 years ago when my knees, like I started running. I was like, that doesn't feel good. So I've kind of stopped running and just been riding most of it. But maybe not even quite 10 years ago, I stopped running. But I do love running. So I'm a little jealous. I wish I could be out there with you.
We should do a
just
race.
A little.
We should do a race that's not as long as a half marathon. Maybe like a relay or something.
Oh.
When do your knees start hurting? Because my knees start to
3 to 5 miles.
Yeah.
Right around that.
I just can't run. My stride cannot be as long as I want it to be sometimes.
Yeah.
Because that's when my knees start to really hurt. I have to have a bit of a shorter stride.
Interesting.
Which is okay.
But I think it's great. I think you're doing great. I think it's so fun for you. I'm excited for you too. It's how many medals are you at?
18.
And you're going
this
for
weekend
20
will be my 19
this year?
I just think 20 is it's somewhat of a milestone.
Yeah.
Even number. So yeah, I'm trying to determine which race is going to be my 20th half marathon.
That's awesome. That's so good. Let us know if you're running it this weekend. Also, maybe can meet up with Jaclyn.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that'd be cool. What else happened? And what else did you do over the weekend?
That was really the highlight. I came here and I helped celebrate Jennifer Barber's 200.
Yeah.
That was a good time. And that was really it. And then it was St. Patty's and now we're here.
I know. It felt like that weekend went rolling right through.
It really did.
Yeah. So we missed filming on Monday, but we're good. I've got my mom turned 80 yesterday.
I thought her birthday was this weekend. I didn't realize it was yesterday.
It was yesterday. So
amazing.
Yeah. So she's had quite a year. She's battled breast cancer and she's come out with flying colors. Just a amazing woman and super strong. So we're celebrating her. My family is all coming into town starting today. And then over the weekend, we're going to take her out and live it up, have a little bit of party.
Live it up. Live it up.
We're going to celebrate life. You got to celebrate life. Just.
What did she say the other night? What does she want to make it to? 95 or 100?
Yeah. Something like that. She will. She's that sort.
I believe that. Really, what percentage of people live to 95? Is that what it was? To 95?
Yeah, I think it was. It was like, no, to 85. 8 or to 80. No, we asked Google, like what percentage of people live to 80. I think it was 80.
Oh.
And I think it was like 55%. Do you think that's high or low?
I think that's high.
High?
Yeah. Compared to, where we used to be in the country.
True. Yeah. She's made it
80
further on than 55% of the
That is a long, long time.
general public.
So before we move forward, we did want to announce our giveaway winner, but we didn't have a chance to on Monday. Time just got away from us, but we are here now. So we had over 20 people enter this giveaway. This giveaway is for the 5 class pack, and we are so excited. I have a name randomizer here. If you're watching us on film, I'm going to spin it.
Go ahead, start it up.
Oh, it makes a noise. Amanda Aversano. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Amanda.
All right, so we will be in touch and we will put that 5 class pack on your account.
Awesome. Yay.
So awesome. All right. So March Madness, we're in the Final Four.
Yes. So my team
My team
and Emily's team, we've made it to the Final Four, which is incredible. We were in first place going into the first week, so I felt pretty confident. Morgan and Lael's team kind of took the number 1 spot for the second week, but cumulatively, my team was still in the front.
Yep.
But they're coming up on our heels, so we're getting there. So we're going to start adding a couple little prizes. So we've got like little basketballs, these basketball pencils. We're going to just start throwing some things out. We have like a phone and our screen cleaner that says Tribe on it. We've got just some little tchotchke type stuff that we're going to give away to maybe the top riders from each team. So even if your team has not finished, we've got some little fun little things to be given out. So
just to keep it hype, this isn't the final prize.
No.
This is just like
I just got them. They're all done.
What?
Yep. And
but we're not telling anyone, right?
No.
Okay.
So I got the thing, and my son was like, "Oh, what is that? I want that."
No, he loves it.
Yes, loves it.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So I was like,
so awesome.
You can't take it yet.
You can't. Nope.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my gosh, that's awesome.
So that's coming up. So just keep writing. We're going to be giving out little things just for fun. We might do, and I know you and I talked about maybe having an extra point given for something that last week, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe it was if we did like a tandem ride with each of the team instructors.
Oh,
we talked about that. If we can sort that out, we'll do it. But we got to maybe take a look at it, see how that goes. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So we're coming down. We're mid through March, which is really kind of crazy.
So crazy.
So
we have the door open in the studio right now.
70 degrees today.
Bringing me back to outdoor rides. I'm going to keep talking about it until she says yes.
Well, I had Morgan talk to me yesterday about it. He's like, when can we do outdoor rides? I'm like, why are you what makes you ask? He's like, well, I've had a lot of people ask me about doing a truck ride, like a pickup truck ride. So he's really excited about that. So I said, I was like, well, it's a little chilly now and unpredictable, but maybe I said in June, and he was like, June. I was like, well, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I jumped right over May. I'm like, sorry.
And April.
Well, we'll see what happens. It's going to get cold again, y'all. I know it.
Y'all.
This rest of this month, I've looked at the temperatures and they're not looking great. But so maybe April, maybe May for sure. We're definitely going to do a couple outside. So keep posted. And it might be a sort of like last minute switcheroo because you never know. The weather can be unpredictable, especially in the Northeast. So you never know.
It'll be here before you know it.
Yeah. Gonna be hot. So yes. Have you been watching the news? No. The answer's no. No.
I do see some important things that come up on like e-news on Instagram or like WBAL. E-news. Yeah. So
entertainment
and
news.
WBAL both showed me what's going on with these astronauts.
Oh my God, right? So yeah, my parents watch the news 24/7. So every time I'm in and out of their house, they've been talking about it. And I knew they were going to splash down. So let's just say these guys went up for what? They were meant to be there how long?
10 days.
10 days. They were there for 9 months.
Yep.
Too long. But
think I heard it was like a total of 280 days in orbit.
But they also did say they were prepared to stay if they had to. So it wasn't like, I don't think it was out of the clear blue. However, they did. They were splashing down the other night, and I was teaching.
They were splashing down.
They were coming back into the atmosphere, and I was teaching. I was kind of bummed I was going to miss it because I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." Like we haven't seen that happen in a long time. Yeah. So, but they're back, and I watched a little bit of it later on. It was pretty cool. It's kind of happening, but I know you don't watch the news too much. I mean, I think there were 4 people on that coming back in.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think there was a Russian cosmonaut and somebody else too. So it wasn't just these 2 Americans.
Wow. I didn't know that. That was wild watching those guys around the boat wearing those masks, making sure that there was nothing.
It was, yeah, right?
No hazardous stuff.
Yeah. It was
it's just straight out of the movies for me. Like,
I laughed when they said they splashed down in the Gulf of America. It makes me just laugh every time I hear that.
I thought it was so cool how there were dolphins that were swimming around.
I heard that too. I didn't see them, but that is really cool too. I'm glad they're back. I think, they've got to deal with a little bit of gravity. I think the gravity is really heavy on their body. I can only imagine. I mean, if you don't have anything pulling on you, that'd be nice. Get rid of some wrinkles. What else is happening?
So last night we both watched White Lotus.
Yeah, we did. Okay, so first of all, a couple things I have to say. There's only one more episode. I just found this out today.
I'm
this
so
morning.
upset that that's the case. I really hope that this last episode is at least 2 hours long.
I'm going to look and see if it is, because when Mike told me that this is the final episode, I was like, how could that possibly be?
No, I don't feel like that's possible.
But a lot of things happened in this episode. And it gave me a little anxiety, this episode. It was the longest night ever.
It gave me a little bit of anxiety too. I kept thinking, okay, you go first.
No, you go.
So when they were in the pool, with the music and how the lights were flashing and everything, I thought that one of these women were going to crack their head open, or they were going to die or drown or something. I thought that that's where it was going.
Yeah.
And it's not where it went at all.
No, I
was so happy that everybody was okay.
I thought those 2 boys jumping off the boat in the nighttime, I think something was going to happen to those 2 kids.
I was
doing drugs.
I think just the way that the cinematography was with the flashing lights and the music, it was just that's so chaotic. Made me think that something was going to happen with those women, because the pool looked kind of shallow and how they were jumping into it and everything.
It was crazy. I just was like, this is the longest night ever. Please end already. They've got to be. Yeah, tired.
I said at one point, I told John, I was like, I have no desire to ever go there. And he was like, well, good thing, because it's really expensive and it's really dangerous. I'm like, yeah.
Thailand? Is that what you're saying?
I think Bangkok, when the guy went to Bangkok and they, it just looked like a tourist destination.
Yeah.
Because where they're at, I think, all-inclusive resort or the resort or whatever.
Yes.
White Lotus.
Yes.
I would 1000% go there.
Oh, yeah.
I just mean being a tourist
that actual hotel is the Four Seasons.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
In Thailand, I believe.
Cool.
So yeah, I do believe that. I know the first one was also
the Four Seasons too.
The Four Seasons in Hawaii. Yeah, I actually stayed at that Four Seasons.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's really
a long time ago.
That's really cool.
I think it was for my honeymoon. So it was.
Really?
Yeah.
You stayed at the original White Lotus for your honeymoon.
Yeah, that's what I was told. I mean,
That's neat.
Yeah. So I don't know if the second one was also a Four Seasons, but
I didn't watch the second one.
I wouldn't be surprised you didn't.
Mm-mm.
That was a good one. It was good, but that was longer. It had 8 episodes. So this is 6 episodes. So if you were watching it as well, I mean, I love it. I have to say, I do really love it, but I feel like it could go on and on and on.
I didn't love it in the beginning. It was just too slow for me. I needed something to happen. And now I'm sad that it's going to end.
Yeah, sad, right? I am too. I really want more. I feel like they've got a lot to wrap up in one episode.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there was a lot of hype going into this episode about how the 2 brothers make out, but they didn't really.
Yeah, that was kind of weird though, right? I was like, ew.
Yeah, but
please, Mike and I both were like, what is happening?
Yeah,
what is happening?
It was definitely uncomfortable, but I just thought going into it with what I saw on social media and was hearing, is that
what the hype was about?
It was all about how they kissed each other. but I just wasn't. It really wasn't anything.
Yeah, no,
Okay, whatever.
that was a weird scene. I don't think it deserved that much hype.
It didn't.
No,
It really didn't.
I didn't really see anything on social media because I'm not really on social media so much. But
My news from social media, you get your news from the news.
from the Today Show,
Yeah.
there's a generational thing. Oh Lord. But I have to say I do love the show. I think the writing has been
It really is great.
really good. I just saw, what's the name of the lady, Jaclyn, on the show? Megan
Monahan? Monahan.
Is that? Yeah. She was actually on the Today Show this morning.
Today.
Today.
So on Today's Show today.
So she was talking about it, and she was pretty close-lipped about what's coming, but she said it was an amazing time filming, and her roommate was Parker Posey, so the mom, the Southern mom. She said she was so great, and she loved that.
That's
so she sort of was roommates that whole time when they did the filming.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm ready to see the end. I hope it is a lot longer than 1 hour because I need more. Any predictions on who dies? Because we all know somebody dies, right? That's sort of the premise of these shows. I feel like somebody always dies. Who is it going to
I
be?
feel like it could honestly be anybody, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I think they do lead you to it really could be anybody.
It really could be anyone.
Well, I don't think it's going to be the dad because I think that's too obvious, right? He wants to die.
I don't think it's going to be anybody from that family.
No,
I
don't think so either.
I almost wonder if it's going to be that security guard's love interest, and then he goes like crazy.
Ooh, yeah.
And I wonder if it happens by accident.
Right. Well, somebody's going crazy.
Well, that the son still needs to come into the picture.
Yeah,
and that's how it
just
starts.
arriving. Yes. Did you watch the previews
For the next episode?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
They're previews?
yeah. There are previews
Are they? Do they happen at the end of the episode?
at the end. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So,
So
yeah.
I just stopped watching.
So, keep watching. Let us know what you think of the show. I'd love to hear your opinion. I've heard mixed, but I have to say I do like it. I find it very entertaining.
So I already told Jen on St. Patty's Day that I was watching this show called Temptation Island. I'm not sure if anyone else is watching Temptation Island. I don't think I've told you guys that I'm watching Temptation Island, but I'm watching Temptation Island and I cannot look away. To the point where I am
not watching that
until midnight to binge watch this show. I'm not done it yet. It's affecting the 5 a.m. experiment. It's I'm having to
Going. How is that?
It's going good. So thank God I did not have to teach early because I changed the settings on my phone to get rid of the haptics so there wouldn't be any vibration, because I'm not sure what was happening with Instagram, but I would be on Tribe's Instagram and my phone would be vibrating. All of the notifications from either my personal Instagram or something just kept vibrating my hand.
Really?
I didn't understand what was going on. So it got to the point where it was so bothersome that I had to go into my settings and change it. So I took all vibration off. And that's how I wake up is my phone vibrates
Oh God.
on my bed. And that's how I wake up.
Did you miss your 5 a.m. experience today?
Not today because I actually had it on because I can't figure out how to get it back. And I've literally done all the things. I also can't figure out how to pair my watch to my phone. I have so many issues going on right now with technology, except for my playlist. Knock on wood, everything's great with that.
Yes.
But
That's weird.
it's so weird. I usually keep it on vibrate just so I don't wake John up. But this morning, it helps me get right out of bed because you can't wake John up. That's not a good thing. So it went off and I got up out of bed and started my day. But it happened 2 days in a row. I didn't think much of it the first day.
You're staying up until midnight watching Temptation Island.
Well, but then the second time I'm waking up naturally and I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, oh my gosh, my alarm is going off, but my phone is on silent.
Oh, that's terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. So, and I'm completely missing it because there's no vibration happening.
You're lucky that you're actually waking up and you're not required to be somewhere.
I know.
Yeah, that's tough.
I know. And Jackson wasn't even crying or anything like that. It was just very, very bizarre. But I've found out about it. We're good.
So how are you doing with the 5 a.m.? Are you getting up and doing all your things, getting a lot done?
Well, today, yes. Woke up at 5. I got a workout in. I was able to drive Jackson to Columbia so my mother-in-law could watch him. And then I came here, taught class. All was well. But the previous 2 days were not good.
So do you think you're going to continue the 5 a.m.?
I'm going to try to.
You are.
I will say, so the 5 a.m. experiment, what I'm doing is I have to vlog myself while it's going on because I'm posting every single day on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I'm waking up at 5 to create that content.
Oh.
So once I no longer have to create the content, I'll actually have more time in the morning to do stuff.
What do you mean vlog? What does that mean?
It sounds kind of counterintuitive. But like right now my camera's on a tripod. So I'm vlogging. Like I'm making it's like a blog, but it's a video.
Okay.
So
Well, yeah.
like blogging my first like 2 hours of the day.
Every day. Oh.
Every day. And it's a lot of work.
Yeah. I don't know anybody wants to see me for 2 hours at 5 a.m. in the
Oh
morning.
my gosh, sometimes I'll see videos of myself that early and I'm like, oof.
I got to put a filter on that.
No.
That's what I would say.
And don't, because that's not the vibe of social media these days. People want like
The real.
all real
Yeah.
stuff. And I'm like, man, all right, there she is. There she is in all her glory.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, overall it's going well. I'm happy that I'm doing it. So,
Hey, I'm reading this book.
your joy book?
No.
Reading a book? You're not listening to it?
Well, I am
You're
listening.
reading it?
I'm
Okay.
listening to it, but I bought the book because I'm gonna give it to my sister actually.
Nice.
But I am. So I've been every time I go up to Baltimore, anytime I'm in the car, I'm listening to this book, and I genuinely love it. It has changed a lot of things for me, and and you know it because we've talked about this person before. Mel Robbins has the book, The Let Them Theory.
Is that what you're reading?
Yes.
Destiny? Really?
It is so good.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm going to recommend it to anybody because I feel like it has changed something within me over the past 2 weeks.
How long have the past 2 weeks you've been listening to this?
Yeah. I mean, because I only get little snippets at a time.
Oh, okay.
But like, it's really just a cool theory about how you cannot control somebody's, what they say, think, or do. And this is common sense, right? We already know these things. And that's what I've come to, I know this. So I kind of was hesitant about even listening to it because I knew what the Let Them Theory was from her podcast.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going to listen to it and just see, because there's got to be more in this book. It's a big book. So I started listening to it. And, while yes, it's common sense, it helps you put it into practice in real ways. And I love the fact that the way she does this is she gives you like real examples and stories in her life of how she's sort of managed to use this theory in practice. So if you've not read it, definitely read it. But I have to tell you, I was in the grocery store, and this is an example. It's a very small example, but it made me kind of feel good about the whole situation. I pulled up in a line, and I had, just a couple things I needed to get. And there was a woman in front of me, and she was clearly irritated with her husband who was bagging and the guy checking her out. And she was buying a cabbage, and I was like, oh God, here we go. Cause she all of a sudden disappears, and she comes back with a cabbage, and she's talking to the guy and asking, well, how much is it? Blah, 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 going on and on. And I was like, oh great, I got in the wrong line. Like, this is, how you feel that way. But then all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I'm not going to stress about this. I'm just going to let those people do their thing. I'm not in a hurry. For once in my life, I'm not in a hurry. I'm fine. Like, why would I get mad? And I kind of just sat back, and then I could see them talking. I just kind of like looked down at my phone. I was just checking stuff, just like to give them their space. I could tell that she kept looking over at me, and I just was like, whatever, I'm just going to let this go. And then she goes, well, I'm just going to pay for it because I don't want to hold up this lady, me. And I'm like, so I look up at her, I said, oh, don't worry about me. I'm like, for once in my life, I'm not in a hurry, and it's fine. You take your time. I'm not in a hurry. No worry. I'm fine. And she's looking at me, and she literally looked at me with this crazy look, like, what? And I was like, and I just felt this like wave of like, ooh, you know what I mean? Because I could tell she was all tense, and I even was tense getting into the line when I realized that she was like in an issue. So I have to say, like, I was like, let them do their thing. I'm not going to, contribute to any of their stress. And it made me just step back and be like, it's fine. Things are going to be fine. So not that is directly the let them theory, but reading the book made me behave that way. So I have to say that I'm taking this into practice, and I actually think it's making a huge difference in my life. I genuinely do. So I really recommend it if you guys are looking for something kind of to read. It's definitely something. So
I love that you're reading that. That makes me so happy.
yeah, it's good.
I love personal development books. I really do.
Yeah.
I feel like they've just changed my life. And I feel like I read the same 5 ones over and over again. And I always wait for someone to kind of like recommend one. So I'll have to read that.
Maybe.
And I like to physically read it. I like to turn.
Okay, the page, yeah. I bought the book. I was literally... So it's funny because somebody else was talking to me about an issue that they had, somebody here at Tribe. And I was like... And I turned to them and I said, listen... And there was something they had an issue with somebody. And I was like, you got to let them... And I basically gave them this theory. And I told them about this book. And they were really stressed out about it. And I was like, there's nothing you can do. You can only... control what you say, think, and do. And the idea is like you let them be them, and then you let me be me. And I'm going to make those decisions that I want. And 2 hours later, I got a text. They were in a bookstore, and they're like, ironically, this is the book that's on the end cap that I ran into it. I was like, it's a sign. I'm like, buy the book because it's good. So definitely check it out.
I will. That's awesome.
So we got a couple questions, didn't we?
We did get a couple questions. So on our last podcast episode, it was kind of like a mini-sode, and we...
Mini-sode? Is that what we call it nowadays? A mini-sode.
So that's for real. So it was just shorter than our usual episodes are. So we like to keep them consumable, but we also don't want them to be too short that it leaves you wanting more. So anyway, we asked what you guys wanted to hear from us in our episodes, and you guys really delivered. We have a lot to work with going forward. We're only going to answer really one at a time over the next few weeks. But this one, I just thought that it was really funny to start with this one. So this question, do you have any tattoos? And if not, would you ever get one? And what would it be? I'll let you go first, Jen.
So yes, I have 2 tattoos, and I would get 3 and 4 and 5. I love a tattoo. I would, my biggest worry about getting a tattoo is making sure you find somebody who's good at it, I would think. My tattoos are tiny. They're really small, and they mean something to me. I have one on my wrist, which has got these, they're 3 little stars. One's big, one's middle, one's little. And there are 3 sisters in my family. So my sister Mindy, my sister Beck,
so cute,
Rebecca, and I call her Becky, and myself. So we were up in New York, and we got that tattoo together. And then the second one is right on my rib cage, and it says La Mia Familia, which is Italian for my family. And so I'm Italian, and I actually got that one with my one sister and her daughter. We were at my parents', and we got that. So it's my sister's handwriting, who was not with us at the time, but she sent it over. So she wrote it, and then they transposed it and tattooed it. So it's her. The fact that it's her handwriting is very special for me. But for us, my family is the most important, and most people feel the same way. So those are the 2. They're only small. I've been wanting to get another one. And then you and I talked about it, but do you have any tattoos?
I don't have any tattoos.
It's about that time.
I don't have any tattoos. There hasn't really been anything in my life that has happened to me that warrants me wanting to get a tattoo. Because when you get a tattoo, like your tattoos, they have meaning. And it doesn't mean that all tattoos have to have meaning. Some people just love tattoos.
Yeah. Well, I think when you get one, I do think it creates this thing where I want to do another one and another one and get bigger and better.
Bigger and better.
Like I do just think it's a little bit addicting. It's just like something that you can own, and it's just sort of a passage of time in your life or an experience in your life or something that might mean something to you. I do think it's important to have some meaning behind it. I mean, it's permanent. I mean, I don't recommend it for people who are super young necessarily. They're like, I wouldn't put like your boyfriend or girlfriend's name with a heart. You never know. Like, I think it's pretty important to be smart about it, but it's art, so you have to, if you appreciate stuff like that, I think it's kind of cool, and you can come up with some really neat stuff.
Yeah.
I follow this one tattoo artist online, and I can't remember the name of the studio, but I'll have to look it up. And it's really like delicate, like fine line tattooing, and it's out in California. It's really amazing stuff. It's really inspirational. Like, that's a good way to say, oh, I like that. Something like that.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So yeah.
I don't have any tattoos. Jen does have tattoos. Will we get more tattoos? Probably.
Should
Will I
we?
get a tattoo?
Should we? Should she?
Yeah, we'll get
I
a
think
tattoo.
We got to think.
We just have to figure out what
Yeah.
that's going to be.
Yeah.
Plan it out. But that'll be
What
fun.
and where?
What and where?
Yeah.
Literally, where?
Yeah. Oh,
Get
well,
Mike Tyson
oh God.
tribe.
Oh my God. No, never. I'm superstitious, so I won't even like get the logo. Somebody said that to me. Why don't you like get the logo tattooed? I was like, are you kidding? Like, that is like the worst idea. Like, that's like a sure sign things are going to go south quick. I'm superstitious. I would not do that.
No, that's like,
But something
I'm trying to think of like Mark Zuckerberg getting like the F for Facebook.
Yeah.
On, like, no.
I think there could be something that has to do with tribe or has to do with like friendship or something that's all connected.
Yes.
We'll have to think on it.
Yeah, we will.
All right. Yay. So I think we're all set.
I think we're all
we
set.
all the topics we wanted to talk about.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
We might be coming up with another episode here this week.
I hope so. We were talking about maybe getting my sisters involved in
I love that.
in an episode. So they were really the inspiration. Well, not really inspiration, but they were the worker bees behind opening up tribes. So
worker bee.
yeah, they helped, significantly. This place wouldn't be what it is without them. So I would love to bring them on and just kind of like give their perspective of what they have done and what they've seen grow.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love it. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, that is it for now. Did you finish your Guinness? Oh, you still have some Guinness to drink.
I'm almost there.
Cheers. We hope y'all have a great rest of your week,
Bye.
and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
And that's a wrap on this week's episode of The Spin Cycle. We'll be back next Monday with a brand new episode.
Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Follow the show on all social media at Spin Cycle Pod. Thank you guys again for tuning in.